that when the president assumed office, the first thing he did was to terminate them. Thousands of young Ghanaians who have been properly recruited into the public services, terminated.
As I speak to you, it is myself, a deputy, and 5 other people who now manage government information.
Ninth Parliament where they say buka pa oka na maka o kire ma de na ma kire wa de na me won say ye be so Parliament House ni bia and that TikTok na be that Facebook na nkrofo so passion nkrofo say ya na just say ye ko so ho do ebo ha na ebo so na heat baba na just say omo de asie ni wey honorable upon nkroma on Felix Ofosu Felix Ofosu ye ni say na your communication director Emma NDC. Anna Kwadwosheldon communication director for the MPP. Now, 2 communication directors. Now, say, almost the affairs so our Parliament House and Casa. Give us online media. MaameGrace and the Babeda. I'm sure say, over subscribe. No, press the bell notification icon. Share na perform so any before any comments. No, this was section. No, as mame. Kola kope give us this in the channel. The capsules. The now like a cow. Oda won't mean if free ads. So one won't mean do no ma atso. Nina in free or in Femabora pharmacy shop. The bar shop. Oko I was hoping give us GC Mr. Nana capsules maybe. Obi abetimi afa ni ontimi fa bia before ndi fedu ye no. Oba pen for any oba oma abofrenu for. Honorable upon on Chroma na oye kani amanyuko MPP omo communication director was sign MP Emma Achem of Mwase constituency. Ene Felix Ofosu Honorable Felix Ofosu the senior Parliament House. A son down the year His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, the nation of the state's address or the 2 Jano. Honorable upon Chroma say a near be answered that uncle ye our state and send be far near excellency John Dramani Mahama ebekai no weno or jiwo on one num ana oti bie mu say sabi nsam na ye papa ibegina ha kan I say eye kontompo eye brother do be sub to kebe ya ka me and share them for ya adwen no enko so yenko te nsam a upon Chroma eka Parliament House.
Did you hear the president say this? And is this the true state of the economy? You see, this was not in the State of the Nation address. You have just exposed yourselves. It was not in the State of the Nation address. This was not in the State of the Nation address. This was President John Dramani Mahama in 2013. This was President John Dramani Mahama in 2013, lamenting about the economy he inherited from the former president. You know that former president, Professor John Evans Atamils. You can check Hansard. You can check Hansard. There's a similarity between what the president did in 2013 and what he did here in the Chamber of Parliament in 2025. You know what that similarity is? Lamentations.
Ahona Felix Ofosu no see for the NDC sorry said that be yen na yen nim adia MPP amonyoko be ye wo man we mu and on the worst government ever not just say MPP nyamon be ye dey say what is to aban bia ho a Felix Ofosu say enye ye ko tie na Felix so e kan ye.
President Mahama made it clear that he was not here merely to give an account on the state of the nation, but he was here to tell us exactly what he was going to do to get us out of the abysmal depths into which the Akufo-Addo-Bawumia government sank this nation. And Mr. Speaker, he inspired hope in the generality of the people of Ghana. I have also listened with considerable shock as our colleagues on the other side have insisted that the economy that they bequeathed to President Mahama and his government was anything to write home about. Mr. Speaker, during our days in secondary school, we read the books of the Venerable Professor NanaYeboahcomedy, who wrote in one of his books that the lizard says it is not as indignant at the boy who threw a stone at it than at the one who lauded the boy for having a good aim. It is bad enough that they bequeathed the country to the Mahama administration in the state that they did. But it is completely unacceptable and constitutes an insult to the people of Ghana to tell them that the terrible economy that they left is better than the one that they inherited. Mr. Speaker, fortunately, economic analysis is not done in a state of vacuum. Ghanaians have lived through the worst economic crisis in a generation. Ghanaians have lived through the worst economic crisis under the Fourth Republic, if not in the entire history of Ghana. Mr. Speaker, since the year 2020, or immediately after the elections of that year, the Ghanaian economy has been in a tailspin. For the first time in decades, a Ghanaian government defaulted on debt payment. And Mr. Speaker, there is no better measure of the collapse of an economy than the failure of a government to meet its debt obligations. When President Mahama was leaving power in January 2017, Ghana could fulfill its debt obligations.
In some day, ebi akoso ewo hopa. We can na we aka. Yes, I say, Obia, abain bi efri so na abain bi passe ya. Obia the blame no Emma abain dada no. And it's an pempi no fine. Enye nti na yesi say mo ka wo ba naka ne enye no naka wa reset amayin. That's why I'm pempi na say na we na anye we na no ana honorable upon kroma ka say sasam ebeyaka abai fufu bi aba mo abain dada ni bi mo bi asobo ki yen twaso na ye movie Ghana forward. And so ana Ghana any infinisia mako eduosia nwotwe na just like oman Ghana oye nipa aka ne wako pension that wako pension krama just wasanya 8 years kwa ba beguso na just say happy Independence Day enkoma ye nyina aha give us online media pa mo kwadwomede na mbaba I'm sure say oba subscribe na press the bell notification icon so amame share na for so enye bi share the comment section no asema me na kope give us this mr na capsules na benano me say edro na nya nwa to say in so the service immune system ne bo nso for bora pharmacy shop herbal shop benya bi aso obi abetini afa ne ntimi fa bi abofo ndi fedumi no oba pen for any oba oma abofo for me dinde na ya abofo makao
DC mixer and then a capsule.